Mohsin? Anjali, can you shut the door behind?
Hello everyone. We are here for the pre-match press conference. We have the assistant coach, Mr. Doeschate. Kindly raise your hand, wait for your turn if you wish to ask a question. We'll start with Kushan Sarkar. Is this the mic for that?
Ryan, my question is, you played one match over here. You've had some assessment of the track. Is there a chance of any tweak in the lineup, or good to go with the same team? And also a question about the batting order, 3 to 7, what kind of tweaks can we expect?
Yeah, I don't think we gleaned too much information from that first game, and even from the other games at the stadium so far, there hasn't been too much to take away from it. So unlikely to make changes. I think the biggest information takeaway is probably the difference from when we played in the Champions Trophy. The wickets played a bit differently, but we feel the combination we had for the first game was a right setup. And I guess what you mean from 3 to 7, the batting position more than anything, obviously it wasn't revealed the other day with Sanju not batting. But the overriding principle is that we want versatile players who can play differently in different situations, but can also bat in different positions. And I think we're very lucky with Sanju and Axar and even Hardik, they're guys who can bat anywhere from up the order all the way through to 7 or 8. So it will be part of our strategy to use that versatility. And when conditions are a little bit tough, like we expect them to be, I think that can be an important strategy for an advantage.
Ryan, hi. This Indian team is always backed by its fans. Their presence is felt across the globe wherever India plays. But this time around, their sentiments have been hurt, given what has happened in our country, Pahalgam. Do you think when they take to the field tomorrow, there have been calls for boycott, the sentiments of our people are going to weigh on their minds?
Yes, I think it will. It's obviously a very sensitive issue, and I've got no doubt the players share the compassion and the feeling of a vast majority of the Indian public. Look, the Asia Cup was in limbo for a long period of time, and we were just waiting. We didn't think we were going to be coming at one stage, but obviously what the Indian government stance is in it, and now the team and particularly the players, you have to put those sentiments and the emotions behind you, and it's actually something we addressed in the team meeting today. So we're aware of people's feelings, but at the same time we've got a guard, and the guys get a chance to play for their country again tomorrow, and they'll be as professional and as focused as they can be given the circumstances.
Ryan, during Champions Trophy, you have been part of one India-Pakistan game, and now this is another game. Is there any mood different and preparation, something different you notice as somebody who is not from subcontinent? Do you see India-Pakistan game preparation or something mood inside the dressing room different? Any different from other matches?
I'll be honest, no. I was expecting a lot more niggle at the Champions Trophy game. I didn't really feel that either. And certainly the preparation this week or the focus hasn't been any different to the preparation of any other important game. I think Pakistan have sort of started to come to terms with how they want to play T20 cricket, so it's going to be a slightly different challenge, say, from maybe the last 24 months. But we want to focus on what we're doing, and how we want to play is the most important thing for us, given that we have potential of playing Pakistan a couple of times in this tournament, and obviously in the next 6 months as well there's going to be a World Cup. Again, it goes back to what we said about controlling those emotions, and we want to prepare for every single game in the same manner.
Coach, there seems to be a bit of mind games from the Pakistani camp. Recently, Mike Hassan said that Mohammad Nawaz is the best spinner in the world when compared to Varun and Kuldeep. So how do you see that? And of course, Varun and Kuldeep and Akshar in these conditions, with the ball gripping a bit, with the kind of heat, do you think they will be the trump card for the Indian team in this game?
I think spin's going to be very important in this competition. If anything, I don't think it's gripped as much as we anticipated, and certainly not like it did earlier in the year when we were here. But spin in general has become a very important part of T20 cricket, and both teams have a lot of spin on offer. And we certainly know how we feel about Varun, Axar and Kuldeep, so everyone's entitled to their opinion, and they can rank their players wherever they wish.
Some of the star players are missing from Pakistan, and so have you had a look at these new players, and what would make the difference? 2-3 matches, have you observed them?
Yeah, that's what I alluded to earlier. I think Pakistan have decided to change direction of how they play their cricket, and that obviously affects the way they're set up in terms of personnel. And it's pretty obvious who you referring to, quality cricketers. But I think Pakistan want to go a different way. And of course, we've done lots of homework on the guys they brought in, fairly inexperienced guys in the grand scheme of things, but probably more dangerous in terms of how they want to play, and we've got our plans and our strategies for attacking that tomorrow.
Ryan, since winning the T20 World Cup, India have won 18 of the 21 T20 internationals. Out of 13, they have won 10 against Pakistan. Powerful batting, powerful bowling. You reckon India start as favourite tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, that short-term record is pretty incredible, and we've been very consistent in how we've played. Obviously, cricket at this level is about how you execute on the day. But yeah, being totally honest and, looking at the recent form and how the teams have played, I would say India do start favourites tomorrow. But we'll be focused on the 120 balls with the bat and 120 balls when we bowl, and the team that is more consistent over those 240 balls will be better. So we're under no illusion as to the task ahead, and a big part of what we're trying to do and looking forward is to stay grounded and just focus on getting better, the individuals getting better every day. So form counts for very little when you come to competitions, regional competitions like this.
Ryan, just briefly moving away from the Pakistan game, obviously you had a big win against the UAE, Pakistan had a big win against Oman. One of the Omani boys was here yesterday and he was talking about how they can only get better if they play more against the established nations. But obviously the calendar being what it is not possible for the main sides to play. Do you think it will make sense for maybe an India A side to go and play Oman or a Pakistani A side? Will that sort of help in the development of the associates?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. You spot on about the scheduling. Obviously the Indian team can't squeeze another game in, and the other international teams aren't far behind. I'd say the difference, the gap, between the associates and the test teams is so big that there's actually a sort of middle layer between, and India A or other international A teams could definitely fill that gap. It's a very different style of cricket that you see the test nations playing compared to a team like UAE, what they're facing on a daily basis. So that is a very nice idea, yeah.
Ryan, you alluded to what transpired in the team meeting today in terms of the sentiment. The sports field has forever been used as a sign of protest. Jackie Robinson 36, Jackie Robinson 47, Tommy Smith and John Carlos in 68. I can keep giving you example after example. Any such thought using the sports field to voice something on behalf of the people?
You spot on. You cite some great examples. I guess the other side of the argument is that you separate sports and politics, and people have got different opinions on that. And hopefully the way we play can, represent how the players feel about the country. And I understand the position, and like I explained, the sentiment, but we are following the, sort of the direction of what the BCI and the Indian government have decided is right for the country at the moment.
Hi Ryan, has the team management done anything different, anything extra to insulate the players from the buzz around? And how different is this match from other India-Pak match?
Look, I think the waiting period of knowing whether this was going to happen was probably the most frustrating part. And once we knew we were going to be and playing, we've tried to get on with the business of it. This game particularly, we haven't prepared differently, like I said earlier, but we obviously are aware of the sentiments and the strong feelings. And Gati's message has just been sort of very professional about, not worrying about things that are not in our control, and, just trying to be emotionless when approaching the cricket side of things. And the guys are professional enough now. I'm sure individuals have, different levels of feeling on the spectrum of where they feel the whole situation is. But the messaging has been to, just focus on the cricket and just focus on the one game tomorrow.
Ryan, I have a question about the Asia Cup. As a fan, have you got any memories, any particular game that stands out? Of course, you never got the opportunity to play the tournament, but as a fan of the sport? Any particular moment in the Asia Cup history that's probably stood out for you?
I think the whole period where sort of Sharjah was the hot spot and all the legends playing there and some of the legendary games stand out. I actually didn't know the depth of the history of the competition until I took this job, and I didn't realize how far back it went, and how important it's been in not only developing the cricket of the bigger teams, but how important it is to the smaller countries that make up the ACC. I think regional competitions are great. The rivalry sort of doubled up, if you want. It feels even more important to show where you stand in a regional competition. But individual examples or individual highlights, sorry, I can't recall one particular one.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Ryan. Thank you,
Thank
Maulu.
you.